Grand rising and priming powerful beings. Shout out to you. It's the Holistic Motivator, and today I'm going to be talking about building momentum with a holistic approach. Building momentum with a holistic approach has to do with understanding that no matter where you're trying to grow in life, being whole is going to help you get there. One of the major things I like to say is to achieve your goal, become whole. Achieving your goal by becoming whole is a concept that on the other side of getting so many things in alignment, you actually get in alignment. A lot of people say, I'm going to manifest, but they're not getting themselves in alignment. So even though you want to do it, but your emotions are not in alignment, even though you want to do it, you're too tired to do it. Even though you want to do it, there's some stuff out of whack. So taking a holistic approach to build momentum says, I'm going to prioritize my health. I'm going to prioritize my mental, physical, emotional health. I'm going to prioritize my routine. I'm going to prioritize my habits. And by doing so, I'm actually going to have more momentum. Keep tapping into this episode of Ed Talks Daily as I talk about building momentum with a holistic approach. Let's get it. Now, somebody may say, what do you mean by building momentum, Ed? Building momentum is so important because a lot of times our life is on the basis of the law of inertia, right? If something is in motion, it's actually going to keep going in motion. But the moment it gets out of that motion, it actually starts to get out of whack. So one of the major things that we can do is make sure that we're in motion. And by that I mean, we want to make sure that our emotions are aligned with what we want to do. We want to make sure that our habits are in alignment with what we want to do. Have you ever said, like, I'm trying to get this thing done, this thing done, this thing done, but you can't get yourself disciplined enough to get it done? Like, you actually want to get it done from a mental standpoint, but from an energy standpoint, you find yourself don't have the energy to do it, right? That's the issue. So this is why we take a holistic approach, because sometimes you're overly caffeinated, right? You have a limbic system that's overly stimulated. You have a bowel that's irritable. So you're like, yo, I'm trying to be focused. I'm trying to get this done. But you get angry easily because your bowels are irritable. Your mind is fogged, right? And then you got tension all over your body. So you can't even stay still to get what you want to get done, right? So this is the concept of, you know what? I want to get stuff done. So to get stuff done, I'm actually going to put some stuff in my routine. I'm gonna create some habits that's gonna help me get stuff done. Now, I woke up super early today, and one of the first things I did was journal. Now, somebody says, why would I want to do this? Why would I want to journal to get stuff done? I don't want to waste my 30 minutes in journaling. Well, guess what? One of the major reasons why people don't get stuff done is because they don't know what they want to do. Not only they don't know what they want to do, is they don't know what's going on within them to even do the things that they want to do. Now, part of my journal is not just, oh, I want to get this done, this done. No, I want to see how I'm feeling. Somebody says, you want to know how you're feeling? You got to know how you're feeling, because when you know how you're feeling, guess what it's going to do? It's going to actually allow you to release. It's going to allow, look, I put here, I feel as if God is revealing everything he has in store for me in the next 7 years. I have entered a new era of my life, and I am called to step out in my gifts. God is opening up doors for me to be on the forefront and empower a lot of people. Writing this stuff down is going to be a reminder for me the moment that one of these days I don't feel like doing it. So this does not just serve as a release tool, it serves as a tool that's going to release you from self-doubt. It serves as a tool that's going to release you from not knowing what to do next. Literally, I have a T-chart on my journal that says this is what I scheduled to do and this is what I actually do. So every single day I get an opportunity to say, what did I do versus what I actually said I was going to do? And somebody says, what's the purpose of that? Well, let me tell you what the purpose of doing that. If you want to check your integrity, you want to check the basis of what you plan versus what you do. What goals you set versus what goals you achieve. And the more you can know what goals you set versus the goals you achieve, the more you can say, hey, I'm going to actually direct my life the way I want it. So journaling is very important. I created something called a financial review, a personal brand review, a personal development scale. Somebody says, why is the fine? Look, how much money did I make versus how much money did I spend last week versus what's my network for this week? Somebody says, why is that important? Because it's literally going to put it right in your face. Look, sometimes we don't want to write things down because we don't want to stay accountable. Asking myself a question like, where did my money go? You're like, yo, why would you not want to put down where did your money go? If you have a problem of spending money in places you don't want to spend it, and every day, every week, you're like, man, I just spent my check. Now I gotta like scurry up just to get gas. Then you probably need a financial review every week. That's why I took some time yesterday. I sat down in front of Mint.com, which is a secret. That's not a secret. And I literally looked at my budget. I reviewed to see where my money went. These are holistic habits that's going to build momentum. Why is that a holistic habit to build momentum? I took a list of my receipts. You take a list of your receipts, and after every week, you literally say, where did my money go? You have a budget to see where categories you're spending it. That's why I use Mint.com to track the money. Because the reason why you're not keeping the money is because you're not tracking the money. And one of the major reasons why we mentally we're not always feeling good is because we are uncertain about the money. So what if you had a way to have a holistic approach to making sure you know where your money is going, so that every week you're like, you know what, I need to spend less on that category. You know what, that was an emergency, and I understand that was an emergency. So next week, let me try to figure out how I have an emergency fund. Because this week, you know, my car just had an issue. I had to go fix it. Boom. Next thing you know, $300. Right? And I'm like, oh, okay, I see how this is. I need to create a fund just for my vehicle because it's a used car. So now I'm thinking strategically. You have to have wealthy habits before you get the wealth. So somebody says, yo, how do I get rich? Well, make sure that the little coins that you have, that you're keeping your purse lean, you're making sure there's no holes in your pocket. Somebody says, what does that have to do with building momentum? Look, we have to sustain a life. And guess what? Once we don't actively, intentionally sustain it, we actually suffer it. We suffer running out of money when you need gas, and now you have to hit up somebody to get gas. We suffer that because we didn't plan enough. We didn't think of an overview, like how much money will I possibly make this? Like, this is my income. Like, yo, I'm probably gonna make $3,000 this month, or I'm gonna make $2,000. I'm gonna make $1,000. Okay, now where can I allocate my money at? Like, what do I need? How much of it do I actually need to put in an account just for that purpose? That way I can relieve the stress of even thinking about paying for that. Look, I'm telling you, if you can take some of the stresses of worrying about paying for that, paying for this, your mind, you will clear up your mental real estate. And at some point, you got to decide that you're not going to fill up your mind with certain things that discipline can solve. And this is why I take a holistic approach. You clear up your mind of certain things that discipline can solve. What if you're not communicating effectively? Why take a holistic approach to build momentum? What if every single day you woke up and you're like, man, I need to hit this person, I need to hit this person. I got this client. You might want to have a holistic approach of getting your CRM on point. Somebody says, that has to do with holistic approach? Yes, because this is now saying, I'm going to create structure. Structure determines function. Now, if you're dysfunction, there's a lack of structure. If there's dysfunction, maybe you're too in your feminine, you need to be more in your masculine. You need more structure. You need more, I need to do that. I need to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You know, you can't be at A and C and D and E and you over there. And no, we have to understand, okay, what are the steps? What are the steps? What do I need? So this is finances. This is relationships. This is your emotions. So somebody says, what's a holistic approach to my emotion that's going to take benefit? You have to have a routine to be able to do emotional cleansing. Somebody says, what's emotional cleansing? Emotional cleansing is knowing how you've been feeling. Lately, I've been like, I have the spirit of vexation. I just be getting mad. I'm like, why do I keep getting mad? I'm like, I got to stop getting mad. Now I'm like, yo, you know what? I have to breathe before I respond. I'm like, now there's an underlying frustration that's causing this frustration. What I need to tap into that. Why am I getting so angry? Why am I being so impatient? What's causing that? I'm not normal like that. I'm more zen. Why am I reflecting other people's things to me? Right? I'm like, okay, we got to handle that. We have to flush that out, because anger long enough in your body becomes disease of the liver. Worry long enough in your body becomes disease of the spleen. So everything affects everything else, and a holistic approach says before it affects me negatively, I'm going to be positively proactive and preventive healthcare. This is what we do in Eastern medicine. This is what I do as a holistic lifestyle coach. I help you structure a lifestyle that's going to allow you not to get sick. Structure a lifestyle that's going to allow you to keep your money. Structure a lifestyle that's going to allow you to keep the weight off. Look, we don't need to be crisis managers. We need to be active life creators. What's a crisis manager? A crisis manager is a person that waits for things to get urgently important and then they act. Let me say that again. Shout out to Stephen R. Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the personal development matrix. Look, here's what a crisis manager is. Oh my God, I got to do this right now or I'm going to get kicked out. So let me do it. Here's what a life creator is. Oh my God, thank you for this opportunity to stay here. I want to make sure I have enough money to pay at the end of the rent. So every time I get my check, I'm going to take this much, and put it away. This is an actively life creator. This person says, I think ahead before it happens so it doesn't happen. The other person says, I wait till it happens and then I react. And then now I'm in a stressful mode trying to clear out a fire. The other person says, I take safety procedures to make sure I go around and make sure that things are not burning up, to make sure that things are in alignment, to make sure that I got the fire extinguisher there, that there's an exit that I need to I live an exit. These types of people are the types of people that are proactive individuals. Proactivity is better than reactivity. Let me say that again. Proactivity is better than, that's how you are. You know you're a pro when you constantly say, before it happens, I want to ensure that it happens in the way that I want it. Can you control everything? Can you control all the variables? Can you control the rain and the weather and the seasons? Most likely not. The truth of the matter is you can't control everything. You're not in control of the storms. You're not in control when your car breaks down. You're not in control when your kid is in the hospital. You're not in control when your mom is going through a sickness. But what you're in control of is whether you call your mother every day. So somebody says, I would hate for my parent to get sick because I love them and I don't want to see them sick. Well, did you know that emotional love is actually one of the best ways to help people not get sick? Did you know that loneliness causes sickness? That just by saying, you know what, I'm going to be proactive, I'm going to spend time with my I know I have my own life now. I moved up, I'm older, maybe I'm 40, I'm 50, maybe I'm 30, maybe I'm 20, I'm young, I'm living my life. But you know what, I'm going to give my mother, my father a little bit of my time. I'm going to bring the grandkids over or something. Or for those of you without a grandkid just like me, I'm going to be a blessing, right? Or maybe like I'm going to take some of these health habits that I have. I'm going to send my parents some juice, some herbs to say this is good for you. I'm going to take them out on a vacation. Look, this is proactivity. You can't control if they get sick because they made their own lifestyle choices, and you can't control how they feel all of the time, but you can add to them feeling better. You can't control how your kid is feeling, whether they're anxious or sad or depressed, but you can control whether you are a kind, loving parent. That's something you can control. You can control whether you listen to the kid, whether you are there for them, whether you get them activities that's going to give them a sense of like belonging, a sense of, that's something you can control. So a proactivity says, this is what I can control. I'm going to be proactive in controlling it. And I'm going to relinquish control to what I can't control, but I'm going to create a state in me that even when the storm comes, I can be what? I can be zen through the bullshit. Right? You could be peaceful through the chaos. You can be in a good state regardless of what's happening outside of you. Because inside of you, you cultivate a way of being. You've said, I'm going to take some time to breathe in the morning. Right? I don't necessarily know what breathing to do, but guess what? The Holistic Motivator has the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe, and he teaches how to breathe every single day. Rising Prime. So you know what? I might try to give that thing a chance. Go to risingprime.com. You know, I'm going to try that thing out. Or maybe it's YouTube. Maybe it's that person that does that yoga. I got to learn that because you understand proactivity says, I'm going to do important things that are not urgent, but they're not urgent and they're important. And because I do them consistently, guess what they do for me? They make sure I stay in a good state and your state determines your stature. By that I mean the way that you feel, your state determines how you stand up within yourself and how you stand up outside in the world. Your state determines your stature. If you're depressed, you're going to be like this. This is your stature. If you're empowered, you're going to be like this. If you're worried, you're going to be like this. If you're faithful, you're going to be like this. Right? So what I'm saying is your state determines your stature. How you feel every day determines how you stand against things. How you stand against things. So guess what you do? Sometimes we gotta reverse engineer the stature to change our state. So you gotta find out whether you're crunched up. You gotta do the movements to get yourself standing upright. You gotta find out whether what's happening inside of you. Sometimes the hack is outside of you. So sometimes some people say, look, I gotta start inside out. Sometimes it's too hard to start inside out. So guess what you do? You start outside in. And somebody says, what do I mean by that? Start by moving a little bit. Start by walking a little bit. Start by going to the gym a little bit. Right? So this is what I mean about you transforming your life with a holistic approach to build momentum. When you transform your life with a holistic approach to build momentum, what you do is you say, what determines how I feel is not what's happening outside of me, but it's how I choose to stand inside of me. What determines how I am is not outside circumstances, but it's my inner standard. And I stand on the side of my standard every single day. I fight for my standard every single day. I fight for my holistic habits every day. So when I find myself deterring off track with this habit that serves me, I'm going to fight for it. Life is a constant battle. And once you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't will take over. So you got to keep fighting. And the way that you do that is by saying, yo, I'm going to structure my life in a way where it's holistically structured. And with this holistic structure, I'm going to be more empowered to get the things that I need to get done. I'm going to be more in alignment with the energy. I'm going to be more in one emotional state where I actually can be able to manifest because I can think clear, I can feel clear, I can see clear, and guess what? God will communicate to you what you need to do next. So it is a determined, deliberate effort that you got to make to say, guess what? I look at life from a holistic lens. Let's say this. I look at life from a holistic lens. I don't look at life from a problem solution perspective. I look at life from a become a solution so I don't deal with these problems. You become a solution so you don't deal with these problems when you say I'm going to fast seasonally. You become a solution so you don't deal with these problems when you constantly do emotional flushes. You become a solution so you don't deal with certain problems when you breathe intentionally. You become a solution so you don't deal with these problems when you say, hey, I'm going to make my relationships a priority. It's going to be on the basis of what will you accept versus what will you not accept. And then every single day you fight for your values. You fight for your standards. And you say, I'm going to make a conscious, deliberate effort that I'm going to build holistic habits that will be in alignment with my paradigm of what life is about. So that way I can create a holistic lifestyle. And the way I'm going to implement and make that lifestyle a reality is by having holistic routines. And through these routines, the way that I rise, the way that I go through the day, the way that I go to sleep at night, all of these things are going to work together for the greater good and for you to be able to pursue and reveal and release the vision that God put inside of you. Look, the vision God placed in you is for you to reveal, for you to create, and you have everything inside of you to bring it out. However, in order for that vision to come out, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need clarity of thought, clarity of mind, clarity of vision, clarity of body. The vision is for you to carry it out, but it's hard for you to carry it out in a toxic state. It's hard for you to carry it out in a stuck emotional state. So somebody says, I want to build my business. If you want to build your business, you have to build you. If you want to build your brand, you got to build you. You got to build your character. You got to be able to personally develop every day where your business grows because you're growing. Where your inspiration because you're being in the spirit of. It is a matter of I start with me so everything fall in lines. It's like, yo, somebody says, I don't have enough time in the day, so I won't give myself time. No, you don't have enough time in the day for the right stuff when you don't give yourself time. It's important to give yourself time. Somebody says, I don't know about that. I need to work a lot so I can actually get myself out of this situation. Sure, you need to work. But guess what? Don't work yourself to a point where you worked yourself out of ease. Now you're diseased. You worked yourself out of ease. Now you're diseased working. So if you work with ease, guess what? You're going to be more productive. So if an hour a day will keep the doctor away, best you rise and prime in that hour and keep the doctor away. An hour a day on your personal growth and development through a holistic lifestyle routine is going to keep the doctor away. Best you invest an hour a day to your holistic lifestyle routine, aka rising and priming. If an hour a day for your care is going to keep the doctor away, best you take that hour. So somebody says, I don't have enough time. Well, yes, you do. You just say, I'm going to give more time to them than to myself. An hour a day keeps the doctor away, so an hour every rising, I'm going to choose to make it my time where I breathe, where I move, where I mentally check myself, where I grow, where I affirm, and where that's my healing. Look, before I get into the world, I retreat from the world, and therefore I bring my best version. Somebody says, yo, very inspiring stuff. Well, guess what? I retreated, now I brought it to you. I was able to cultivate, now I'm giving. It's hard to give what you don't have. So I'm going to give everybody a piece of my mind today. That's why you're giving them a piece of your mind, and they taking up space in your mental because you didn't give yourself a mind full of peace. You give everybody a piece of your mind when you're not full of peace, a mind full of peace. Because guess what? You're really going to chop off your brain and give people a piece of it where you can stay at ease by keeping your peace to yourself. Keep your peace to yourself and stop giving your peace unto others by giving them a piece of your mind. Look, keep your peace to yourself by not trying to put look, if you try to put everybody in their place, you're not going to be able to stay in the right state. So say, today, I'm going to stay in the right state and I'm not going to try to put everybody in their place. Instead of reacting to them by mirroring how they're being, I'm going to respond to them by being how I be. I'm not going to let them choose how I be. I get to be how I be. Right? It's BYOB. Be your own brand. Be your own self. Right? Don't be how they want you to be. Be how you want to be. BYOB. Be your own self. BYOS. You have to say, I'm going to choose to be the way I want to be today. You know what? The news not going to deter me. Traffic not going to make me angry. I'm not going to let my boss get in my nerves. I'm not going to let these store employees try me. Even if they do try me, you know what? Try Jesus, not me. Because I don't got time. I'm going to get out of there. Try Jesus, not me, because I don't got time. Look, what I'm trying to tell you is this. Your sanity is your choice. Your insanity is you advocating your choices to other people's mischoices. You're like, you know what? I want to be sane, but you're giving up to every insane person. You're like, what did you say? They're insane. Why are you dealing with them? Focus on yourself. Now, I'm not saying not to be. Compassion is not necessarily you having to, you know what? I need to make this person right. Compassion is, you know what? This person can be how they want to be. I want to be how I want to be. You be how you want to be. And if we can't be together, then we be differently. This is a holistic approach to building momentum. Everything affects everything else. Your pissosity in the morning, your pissed offness right now going to bleed into your day. Your lack of discipline in how you eat is going to bleed into your day. Everything affects everything else. So best you say, hey, I look at this thing holistically. Holistic means not problem solution. Holistic means I'm a solution so I don't even deal with these problems. Somebody says, should I worry about high blood pressure? I say, you should not worry about high blood pressure. Focus on fasting, detoxing, cleansing, and then not getting upset every single day. Focus on not getting sludge in your blood. Focus on, look, proactivity says, I focus on wellness. I don't worry about sickness. That's proactivity. So you do activities like the pros do. Proactivity says, I put certain things in my lifestyle to make sure I never even have to deal with that. But, there's a but. And here comes this behind the but. Some stuff you can't control no matter how proactive you are. And that is why you are proactive to begin with. Somebody says, I've eaten healthy, I've worked out, I'm a vegan, but yet I still got sick. Yet I still got this cancer in my body. Why, God, why did you do this to me? I did my part. Why did this have to happen to me? And God says, it happens for the glory of my name. And you're like, what? You mean my sickness for your glory? What type of sick? I'm like, okay, God, I'll trust the process. So proactivity is you build up a faith so that when things happen that's unjust, that shouldn't happen, that it really doesn't make any sense, that it's just like, why did this accident happen? Why did I have to get in a car accident? I wasn't the one with road rage. I was peaceful, but this person had to run up. Why did this happen to me? Look, you become a solution where you know there are things you can't control, but because you control your inner environment, you say you be like Job, and you say the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh, blessed be the name of the Lord. You know, I will use this circumstance to bless the name of God. Look, why did I have to get sued? Somebody sent me a paper and said, I'm taking to court today. I'm like, God, why did this have to happen? The Lord give it, the Lord take it away. Now I got to make, blessed be the name of the Lord. Certain things have to happen, and they don't necessarily have to happen, but they happen. And because they happen, you don't need to justify it. You don't need to blame. You don't need to shame. You don't need to stay stuck in that. You need to have faith. He said, if your will be done, Lord, let it be done. Look, out of this pain, out of this chaos, I will come out of it stronger. Look, it's a different mindset. It's a different mentality. The only way you build a mindset of resiliency is by consistency and how you fortify yourself every single day. They're trying to break down the walls of you every day. There's something out here trying to break down the walls of your spirit. And you got to fortify yourself. You got to sanctify yourself. You got to purify yourself to deal with the. And the moment that you do that, it's not that things will always happen your way. If everything happened your way, nobody else would have it their way. So everything can happen your way. But at least you, according to Sadhguru, at least you can happen the way you want it. And I found that to be very empowering, what Sad said. He said, you got to choose to happen the way you want to happen, because you can't determine how everything else happens. So guess what you got to do? Momentum says, I don't create stuff, but I learn how to ride the wave of them. Sometimes I go through tough situations and I can't shift it, I can't change it, but I learn how to ride the waves of my emotions. Sometimes I go through challenges, but I learn how to ride the wave. Momentum does not always mean that I'm climbing up a stair and going to exactly where I want to go. Momentum sometimes means I am literally falling down. But somebody says, instead of putting my arm down and breaking my wrist, I'm rolling through the fall. Somebody says, roll through the fall and you have less hurt. That's called riding the wave of momentum. Somebody said, I thought momentum is only supposed to go up. Not momentum is a roller coaster. Momentum goes up, 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 ooh, down. But you gotta ride the roller coaster of momentum. When you learn how to ride the roller coaster of momentum, it's turbulent. It's up and down. It's all over the place. But guess what? You like, let's get it, baby. You unbothered by the way. There's this guy. This is the video. He was just like, everybody was like, ah. He's like, I'm not worried. He's like, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. There's a faith that you get when you say, oh, this roller coaster of emotions ain't gonna break me down. This roller coaster of financial situation ain't gonna break. This roller coaster of my health is not gonna. I am telling you, your life shifts not when everything happens the way you want it, but the moment you say, no matter how it happens, I have faith. I'm gonna stay with my holistic habits, my holistic routine, my holistic lifestyle, and I'm gonna look at life from a holistic paradigm. And that's my message. and I'm sticking to it. It's the Holistic Motivator. And I want to thank you all for tapping into this episode called Ed Talks Daily. Now, look, this is very empowering. Guess what? I do this every single day. If you want to subscribe to the podcast, go to edtalksdaily.com or go on your Spotify platform and say, "Hey Siri, play Ed Talks Daily, Holistic Lifestyle and Motivation." Go on your Apple Podcast and say, "Hey, play Ed Talks Daily, Holistic Lifestyle and Motivation," or write that thing in. I have over 300 or 400 episodes. No matter what you're going through in a day, we just go down, look at the title, and the title focuses on that exact thing. It's gonna be like therapy for you. I promise you. I put my heart and soul and blood and tears and pain into this podcast. So make sure you go check it out. And for those of you who says, "Hey, look, I don't just want to listen to the podcast. I want to be in your circle," go to holisticlifestyletribe.com and you could sign up for a holistic health community for your support. Guess what this is? It's literally a way for you to be supported along your journey of healing, of growing, of becoming better. A lot of people just do this by themselves, which means they have no support system, right? They have no routine, they have no coach, they have no motivator on their side. And that's what I have done. I've curated, the tribe curates holistic tools, holistic practices, holistic routine, and a try to support you along your journey of healing, growing your business, becoming better. So basically, the pillar way that we do that is something called Rising Prime. Every single day at 7 a.m. Eastern Time on Zoom, we get up, we move, we breathe, we affirm, we check on ourselves so we don't wreck ourselves, and we grow holistically. And that's going to help you create a sense of awareness. That way you can never fall back into sleep mode. So if you want to grow and you want to detox seasonally with a fall juice feast, a summer juice feast, an internal spring clean, and a winter detox to boost your immune system, go to holisticlifestyletribe.com and you're going to get access to Holistic Book Club there and any special workshops that I come up with. So it's a whole lot of things, baby. Just go to holisticlifestyletribe.com and join the tribe. Try a free 3-day trial, and with that trial, you're going to have a holistic lifestyle community that's going to support you along your journey. Now is the season where the people are isolating. There's loneliness, there's sadness, there's depression. You want to actively say, "Hey, I'm not going to let this get the best of me. I'm going to create my life the way I want it to. I'm going to create my life the way I want it to be. I'm going to wake up intentionally. I'm going to move. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to do Qigong. I'm going to detox. I'm going to grow every single day. I'm going to stay motivated. I'm going to stay inspired. I'm going to take a holistic approach, and I'm going to keep on growing every single day." If that's something that's empowering and you want to do this, go to holisticlifestyletribe.com and join the tribe and get access to a community to support you. Somebody says, "I love your energy." Well, guess what? You can get this energy close up. You can get this energy every single rising. So go to holisticlifestyletribe.com and sign up for the community to help support you. It's empowering. It's going to transform your life. All right? So that's my message, and I'm sticking to it. It's the Holistic Motivator. And I want to remind you that you have the unlimited power in you to achieve whatever it is that you want, to construct the life that you want, to be in the state that you want, to build the momentum so you can reveal the gift that God gave you so the world can know that you're not just a body, you are a spirit. And then God is going to be like, well done, my good and faithful servant. Well done. And that's how you do it. You do it by cultivating yourself through a holistic approach. But until you do that, the world will forever miss all your talents, all your gifts, and all the great things that you have to offer. So remember, let your light shine. Don't hide it. Don't dim it. It's the Holistic Motivator. And I want to thank y'all for watching here. Peace. For those of you wondering where I'm at, I'm in the beautiful South Florida, Miami, baby. And I offer one-on-one classes and sessions. So if you want to tap in, you want to do a Qigong class, you want coaching, you want to get detox on herbs, I got them straight from my garden, baby. You see, this is straight from the parasite cleanse tea. Go to my shop, theholisticmotivator.com/